We've just finished session 3 of the Brené Brown programme, Dare to Lead. And this session had 2 main lessons. One is how do we live into our values? And the other is braving trust. How can we create trust in teams and organisations? What does that take in practice, and what does the research tell us? Now, Emily and I were facilitating again today using a range of different ways of supporting people to show up, take part, have great conversations and explore the new material. We used Fun Retro again to capture the different ways that people are creating team agreements, so that we've got a huge list of potential team agreements or ground rules for teams that reflect Brené's research. We used Mentimeter to ask people to be really honest around, do they really believe people are doing the best they can, and do an anonymous score. And on a scale of 1 to 5, the overall score was 3.7 in terms of yes, people do believe people are doing the best they can. The Living into the Values session is fascinating for me. We've done lots of work with Jackie Lefevre around values using the Minescence framework. Brené uses a slightly different approach and creates a long list of values in the workbook and asks people to choose 2 from that list. From that list, the 2 that I choose are courage and making a difference. These are the values that affect my decision making, that influence how I show up, that feel really at the core of me. And what we were asked to consider is what behaviours are in line with our values, support our values, and what behaviours, which Brené describes as slippery behaviours, are outside of our values. And it helped me recognise that one of the behaviours that supports me showing up with courage, with that being one of my values, is eating my frogs first thing in the morning. It's doing the hard stuff first, doing the bits that ideally I'd really like to put off, and trying to get them done really early on my day. And it's part of the Eat That Frog book that some of you might be familiar with. And the behaviours that are outside of my values are procrastinating. Because when I'm procrastinating, it means that I'm experiencing fear and I'm not leaning into it or not recognising it, or certainly not addressing it. So that was insightful for me in terms of what I do to support my values and be present with my values and what gets in the way. One of the bits of research that Brené shares, which was a revelation to me last year on her course, was that less than 10% of organisations operationalise their values, because compassion to somebody, one of the values of Wellbeing Teams, might mean one thing to one person and something really quite different to somebody else. So over the last 4 months in Wellbeing Teams, we've been going through each of our values and looking at what 3 behaviours support our values and what 3 behaviours are outside of our values for each of the 6 values. And we shared that today, and that was really interesting to see the very precise nature of the behaviours we'd expect to see when we're living our values and what happens when they're not. And then we looked at team agreements and how team agreements can help us live our values and help create containers for trust, and how in Wellbeing Teams we're using confirmation practices to review how well we think we're doing in living into our values as described in our team agreements, and how we can improve both individually and collectively. So a brilliant session. Hearing from Brené on her videos is just outstanding, just amazing. But also wrestling with how do we put this into practice with a combination of personal reflections, journaling and small group work. And this time Emily introduced focus music for when we're doing the journaling alongside our usual disco breaks. And my memorable moment was starting that with Let's Get Ready to Rumble, and a 3-year-old from one of the group wanting to come in and dance to the great music.